There's plenty to get through in today's show. Sir Jim Ratcliffe's comments on Manchester United, and Thomas Tuchel has agreed an extension with England until 2028, which effectively rules him out of the running for the next permanent job at Manchester United as a manager. As always, a big shout out to everyone out there who likes, hypes and subscribes to the channel. It's much appreciated. I think first of all, though, we maybe need to address as a channel some other non-footballing comments that Sir Jim Ratcliffe actually give in that Sky News interview.
Yeah, we'll address it, but I'm going to make it clear of who we are, where we come from and what it's all about with Manchester United. Look, as a young lad in the 70s, early 80s, the Manchester United fan base went through some tough times, and there's one thing I always said to people, and anyone what knows me, right, we're a family and we stick together. Football is about bringing people together, race, religion, politics. As far as I'm concerned, and I fought hard for it in them early days, it was the fan culture. It was changing, and it has no place on the terraces. So when I see people going on about the comments Jim Ratcliffe have made and bringing it into the football world here at Manchester United, it has no place. And people like me and Kieran, we stick to football because it definitely has no place.
Yeah, and what we've always tried to do, people out there who've been with us from day one or even up until yesterday, I mean, you can check it yourselves in the community guidelines, and the first option there is no race, religion or politics. Let's stick it to football. And for me, like I say, with this channel, it was always about building a bridge, whether you're from Manchester or Mumbai or further afield around the world, to create a safe space, a platform to everyone to get involved with their opinions on Manchester United without any of the frictions that go on in the outside world. And we've always kept it like that, and we will continue to do so. So hopefully you can all get involved today with your opinions on Manchester United. But there's no escaping what Sir Jim Ratcliffe has said on Manchester United today. And I mean, I'm going to get into the start of what he said, and it's basically on him being the bad guy. I've been very unpopular at Manchester United because we've made lots of changes, but for the better, in my view. And he went on to like the evidence of that success. I think we're beginning to see some changes and the evidence in the football club that that's now beginning to pay off.
Well, some people will have a different view on what he's talking about, the choices and decisions, but I think everyone, the majority of people out there will say he has made some unpopular decisions. But let's go back. Let's go back for when he came in, when he was looking to buy the club, get inside Manchester United. I said, Kieran said, lots of yous out said, this club was rotten. And I mean rotten to the core, and it needed ripping out. So there was always going to be unpopular decisions made. But a lot of them decisions, what were made, were the right decisions for the long-term future of Manchester United. There was people inside this club, right, who didn't have Manchester United at the heart. They were looking after themselves. And as Sir Jim Ratcliffe said, we discussed it before, he turned round a long time ago and said, there's more accountants in here than there is people in the football field. So yeah. I look at that and said to myself, dead right there was. And there was people inside this club who needed throwing out because they were just looking after themselves. Unpopular decisions, but they had to be made. What it is with the decisions I look at, lots of views look out there.
He's sorry to interrupt you there, though, but he does actually say in that I think we're beginning to see some evidence in the football club that it's beginning to pay off. Is he focusing more on the financial side and the running of the football club, or is he looking more at what's going on the football pitch? I want to know your opinions on that, but you give me yours first.
There's two ways to look at that, and I think people will look at it in the right way. Yes, from a financial point of view, we needed putting on a proper footing, okay? We was over bloated with payments on players, on staff and everything else like that. And to run successful, you need to be on a certain level. You need to be able to provide the income, get the right income to bring in the right people and get on a proper war footing. And it was a war footing, and he's put us on a war footing from an economical point of view. I agree with that. He also looked at his own investment. He brought money in to change Carrington round and everything. And that's been beneficial. because it's not a scattergun approach. There's the players, they're all working there, they've got the offices there, and they're all getting down to business. So you can point at several things where it's good. From a moral point of view, people look at it and say, that man's been sacked. He's been sacked. He's been there many years. There's always a conversation like that when someone takes over a business and then just rips it apart. And that was always going on. Tough choices. He is unpopular. But the thing is, we wanted that. There's no escaping it, okay? There is no escaping the decisions he's made. They had to be made. The football inside of it, when you look at that.
How many times did we say we needed the deadwood clearing out?
Yeah.
I mean, that's happened last summer with the bomb squad, and there'll be another cull again, I expect, in the summer with players who are running down the contracts. You know, Harry Maguire, I mean, he's playing really well at the moment, Harry, but will he get given a new contract? There's other players in and around that squad as well. Agate, which I'll hold my hands up with. I thought he'd really come on this season when we spoke about him before the season started, but he's just way off it, in my opinion. He's another one who's been a really bad buy. I mean, was it £50 million we paid for a guy? I mean, them sort of mistakes can't happen again, especially when you was selling a player like Scott McTominay to fund that deal. I mean, we went and lost Fred, you know, let him go to replace him with another Fred, in my opinion, and paid 50 million. Yeah.
Well, I think he's more unpopular on the footballing side. He's not got it right from day one. I just look at it, look at the managers. I always said it, many people out there said it, when someone comes in, a new owner and that, new business, bang, they clear the decks. And by clearing the decks, he didn't address the footballing side of it straight away. Should have sacked the manager. Yeah. He would have had an idea of who he wanted to bring in before he took over. And he should have cleared it, because at the end of the day, 6 months later, he wanted to get rid of the manager. So from a footballing point of view, he wanted to get rid of a manager, right? Went out there interviewing people, even like Tuchel, for instance, right? And no one wanted to come, or he couldn't get it over the line. So it was scattergun, and he should have approached and gone for it straight away, the footballing side, and at the same time looked at the business and dealt with it in the way he runs his own business. Lean, mean, proper machine. Well, it wasn't that. So from a footballing point of view, the decisions he'd made, bringing in Wilcox, for instance, right? All that time, it took time to get Wilcox in, and then soon as he's in, not long after, he's gone.
You mean Dan Ashworth?
Dan Ashworth, I mean, yeah, bringing in Dan Ashworth.
I mean, in total.
So the footballing side of it has been poor. So he is unpopular, and quite rightly unpopular, especially when you see the decisions he made and the season we had last year. At the moment, things are a little bit better, but that's more by luck than by judgment.
Yeah, I think in total, when you're looking at Dan Ashworth, Ten Hag, giving him that extension, then sacking him, Ruben Amorim now, and sacking him, I think it's cost them about 35 million in that region, you know, to get rid of them and all the chasing that they've done for them. But I want to know if you think there's been an upturn in the pitch, and it's down to the decision making here inside the club now in what we're seeing under Michael Carrick. And it's great to see, actually, I've got to mention it, how many people are actually getting involved with the actual football chat today. It's great to see. Yeah. Gareth Tickle from our members club says, using the players INEOS have brought in the correct positions and clear coaching, in my opinion, has brought an upturn in results and football. Long may it continue. Up the Reds.
Well, when you say using the players in the right position and all that, right, you have to remember, and, you know, a lot of people will agree, a lot of people will disagree. It was Sir Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS, right, what turned around and said, we will drive the philosophy of how this football club plays football. And that's why they chose Ruben Amorim. That's the way they went down. So when you look back, it was the wrong choice, because at the end of the day, you need to bring in the right players, and they weren't prepared to do that. They couldn't do that to play Ruben Amorim's system. It never worked with this group of players, and I don't think it would work with a group of players at any other football club, right? We backed the manager last year, but we needed to see improvement, and it wasn't coming. And in the end, it was the fans, the disturbance, the noise, what was coming out from the fans, what forced Ratcliffe to change. So at the end of the day, he made that decision. He's the one what forced Ruben Amorim to come here. So from a footballing side, I don't agree that things have changed. I think it's by luck we are where we are in the league and the football we're seeing. I think the footballing side of it is still poor. Now, he says...
footballing side? What, under Michael Carrick?
No, it's by luck. I'm not... No. The choice Ratcliffe made, right, by changing the style and playing a different type of football was the wrong choice. Yeah. It was unpopular, and it's been proven, right, it was the wrong thing. So from a footballing side, he's got it wrong. From a financial side, getting the club on a certain level, he's doing the right thing. Now, that may pay dividends as we go down the line. Now, at the moment, what we're all worried about and what we're waiting for is the end of the season. Will he make the right choice? Well, if he thinks he's unpopular now and he makes the wrong choice, my God, the noise will just get louder and louder.
Fred Cranham from our members club has gifted 5 memberships. Absolute legend, Fred the Red. 5 people who've been gifted them memberships. Give a big thank you to Fred. We've also got a live poll currently running in the live chat. The question is, Ratcliffe claims there is evidence the INEOS plan is working. Do you agree? There's 4 options to choose from there. We will reveal the results of that towards the end of today's video. Now, you're looking at Sir Jim Ratcliffe coming into the football club. There's a clear difference between competence and intention. The intention is surely there. When you look at how much of his own money he's pumped into the football club, he surely wants Manchester United to get back to the top of the Premier League. But the competence side...
From a footballing side, the competence.
Yeah. That's what's worrying.
Yeah, well, of course it's worrying. Of course it's worrying, because at the end of the day, we've got to bounce now by luck, and it is by luck, right? And I said it the other day, the big decisions are coming. Now, I've said 2 years he's been here, 2 years, and I did say he's got 2 more years to turn it round. Okay, they had the big vision of 2028, challenging and all that, but the decisions, what they've been made regarding the football, and that's all we're concerned about, the football. That's who we are, United fans, mad for it, get it right. Well, he's not got it right. So the big decisions are coming, but can he do it from a financial point of view? He's praising what he's done on that side of it, and I think he's trying to praise the football as well. But then again, if I was a billionaire, anything I did, I'd just praise it and praise it. I wouldn't be slagging myself down. No way would I be slagging myself down.
All the people,
or the people I employ and all that. I just say, oh, that was a decision, and that person didn't turn out to be the right one. But we move on, and everything I'm doing is hunky dory. Listen, if you're a billionaire, you don't start slagging yourself down.
It looks like Tuchel's obviously out of the race with him signing that contract now, keeping him to the England job until 2028. And what a huge decision it's going to be again. You know, sticking with the decisions from the football club, that if Carrick does get us Champions League football, to then go out and get someone who's going to improve us further next season and beyond. Well,
if you look at Tuchel, he's extending his contract. I mean, all this noise about possible being on a shortlist for Man United, right? Has he used Manchester United to get that extended contract? I look at Tuchel. Listen, they couldn't get him over the line when they wanted him, right? When they were trying to get rid of Ruben. I even forget the manager after the FA Cup. I forgot his name.
Eric Ten Hag.
I forgot. It's that long ago.
Have you had a good sleep last night?
No, it's not that. We just keep mentioning loads of names, managers and that, right? But like Tuchel, right? He wanted Tuchel after the FA Cup final. Couldn't get him over. But I never wanted Tuchel. I think he brings too much noise to the football club. And I said it, and I didn't think he'd be coming to Manchester United. I've given my reasons. So at the end of the day, shortlist. Now, how big's that shortlist now? I don't see anyone else except the choice me and Kieran are stuck with. And that's Unai Emery. I just don't see any other manager out there.
I wouldn't have minded Tuchel, to be honest with you. I could take the weight of the expectation from the fans, the media, and I think he could deal with that. And I do think he's a very good manager. Some maybe out there might disagree with that, but I do think it's that type of manager with the experience is what is needed at Manchester United. When you're looking at the likes of Ruben Amorim and Eric Ten Hag, especially in how they handled the media and the expectation from the fans.
Listen, I don't think he was up for the challenge. I think he's quite happy being at England. It's not a full-time job, okay? Big money and everything else like that. And at the end of the day, he's got an extended contract. And we all know we all know, right, if he doesn't win that World Cup, he's getting sacked because the media are going to slaughter him, absolutely slaughter him, right? And by the time England don't win the World Cup and he gets sacked, that's if they don't win it, and he gets sacked, the Man United job has already been filled. So there's a big shortlist choice, Tuchel to Man United. He'll never be on the radar again.
South2295 says, would you have Belieber now, or is it just hype us getting midfielders? Am I right in saying that he got booked in the first minute, 50 seconds of the game last night and then was hooked off around about 20 minutes?
Listen.
Let me know about that.
Yeah.
I did see some reports on it. I didn't watch the game, but I mean, that's not a great sign, is it? Getting hooked off in the first 20 minutes.
Listen, Jim Ratcliffe's going on about decisions, tough decisions and all that, and going forward, and everything's all right. We're fine. We know where we're at. Well, listen, in the summer, it was all about Belieber and that, and I've said it, right? I think we've moved on from Belieber. I think we've moved on. For me, Belieber really should have been standing up and performing, and he should have been catching our eye. I don't see anything. And that to me is a character, down to character. And he talks about, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, that the club are looking at the people's character and everything else like that. Well, you want to see what is on the pitch. Well, he's not producing. Okay, some people might have an excuse. I see it as an excuse regarding Belieber. Oh, his eye was took off the ball and all that because United's interest and all that. Well, he should be showing, he should be glowing as if to say, hey, every United fan out there, look what I'm doing. This is why you should sign me in the summer. Well, I think he's off the radar. And I think the way Nottingham Forest with Anderson, I think that he might be off the radar. And Wharton might be off the radar. These are three teams, what these players are playing for, and people keep talking about them, right, who are off the radar, who are struggling, who are bad. And people might turn around and go, oh, but we might go and get them because they'll be a lot cheaper. That's no good to us. I want a player what's playing football, what's in form, what I can say. This player is going to make changes. He's going to be able to compete. Well, they're not competing now. So I think this three-man shortlist of midfield players, right, I think might have gone by the wayside, to be honest, especially with Belieber. Because me personally, I'm not over fond of him. I don't see him being the catalyst for Man United kicking on. I just don't see it. And that's what we need. We need to bring someone in who's going to kick this team and push it on. Not for me, Belieber.
Whether it's Belieber or Anderson, if they're not on the shortlist, I just hope to God that there is someone on that shortlist, though, for the midfield area, especially losing the likes of Casemiro. But I do believe you're going to need to change Casemiro or replace Casemiro with someone who has got that pedigree as well and the experience to go alongside Kobbie Mainoo. I mean, it's a huge, huge risk if we get Champions League football as well next season. If you are going to buy Belieber and have him and Mainoo, two such young lads in the central midfield for Manchester United, I mean, Belieber would be more of a development player alongside someone bringing in with experience. Yeah,
a development player, someone who we're going to rely on as time goes on. Yeah. No, Ratcliffe has got to sort this out. I don't want any more mistakes from the footballing side. He's got to go out there, get someone with the stature, someone who people will turn around inside the club and go, this is the man to take us forward. No more of these, oh, let's just get a good player. 50, 60, 70 million pounds. No, we need somebody. We're building a team, okay, and we need to build it with class players. He's bought players, very good players, some good players, but we now need to push on. And that position to take from Casemiro, you need world class. Has he got the money? Well, we're going to find out. And these are part of the big decisions what are coming in the summer. So if he thinks he's unpopular now and he don't like go out there and flash the cash, he will be more unpopular.
De Zerbi as well. Just recently left Marseille and did see some reports yesterday, maybe linking him with the Tottenham job. And if he doesn't take that, I'm sure his name's going to keep getting connected to Manchester United and the permanent job. I
think there'll be loads of people. It's what the media do, isn't it?
As long as it's not Thomas Frank.
Well, listen, I don't rate De Zerbi, okay? I just don't rate it. I don't see how if you compare De Zerbi to Unai Emery is head and shoulders above him. So that's what you have to look at, right? And if they are looking at a manager what's already in situ with the club, right, nothing should stop Manchester United going and getting a manager what's already in place at another football club, okay? Over the years, over the decades, that's what United have done. So if they want to be up there with the top boys and all that, they need to start acting. That's the best. Go and get it. And it's the same with a midfield player.
Yeah, Suntos says Belabor was only coming for Amorim. Could be right with that, mate. Maybe he's putting his name forward more than any other player. Chowder says fans calling for Carrick to be appointed need to be careful what they wish for. He's had 5 games. Yeah,
well, that's the thing with Carrick. You know, you don't know down the line. We don't know the next 2 games, 3 games, how it's going to go. Might all unravel. All I've said about Carrick, right, is enjoy what you've got because you're going to be entertained. Now, will Carrick get the job? Listen, if he gets us in Champions League and that, and the one manager they're going for, it doesn't come, what they're left with. So we don't know the choices. We don't know the scenario. And like I say, I keep going back to it. All the big decisions for the next few years are going to be made this summer. And Carrick might get the job. I'm not advocating for him to get the job. I'm advocating for United, right, to grow some balls, go out there and get Unai Emery. But if that isn't the case and he gets us in Champions League, I can see the scenario. I can see the scenario and the clamour will be massive if he gets us Champions League football, playing entertaining football, winning games. Well, I mean, as a football fan, that's all you want.
I mean, if you get top 4, 3rd place, you know, roughly them positions, I mean, signing Carrick up to a 2-year contract, is that more of a gamble than going out there and getting a manager who has got a pedigree? You know, which is the bigger gamble, giving Carrick another 2 years with what he already knows with this playing squad? You know, he knows what the best positions are. Or going out there and getting someone who's never been here, doesn't really know Manchester United Football Club, the fabric of it, and what goes on inside the football club.
Well, it's a big gamble bringing any manager in. It's a big gamble bringing any player in. And a new manager coming in will take time to settle down, will take time to get an understanding of the people, what are running the football club, and trusting the people. Carrick understands the club, the people he's got in there as coaches, they understand it. So 2-year contract, there you go. I mean, at the end of the day, are we looking for a manager for the next 10 years? I don't think it exists anymore. I think when you look at billionaire owners and clubs what are owned by states and that, they're not looking at longevity with managers. They're not prepared to hang around. I don't think when you look at Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the people inside there, I don't think they're prepared to hang around for a manager to turn it around anymore. I think 2 years, right, if they've not done it, any manager, then you're out the door. These billionaire owners, right, can't hang around. They want the success. They need the success. If United don't get Champions League football, that's 2 years on the trot. That will take them down. So the money, the finances, the accountants and everything will be going mental because the sponsors and everything will walk away. And you can't have a deterioration like that. So to keep a manager for more than 2 years and he's not producing it and he's not having Champions League football, because that's what it's all about, okay? Money is the prime motivator with a lot of people nowadays.
I mean, I just asked you before as well, and the community out there about, you know, what would be the biggest gamble, keeping Carrick if he gets Champions League football on a 2-year deal or bringing someone in, and a lot of people already getting involved with that. And Steve says, let's see us get a top 4 place, then Carrick deserves his chance. It's a no-brainer. William says, we have to get Champions League. Don't undermine Carrick and Holland in the short term. And there's more comments similar to that if Carrick does get Champions League football, he deserves his chance.
Well, no one should undermine Carrick. There is absolutely no reason, right, why anyone should undermine Carrick. He's been brought in, right, fast-tracked in, right out of the blue. I didn't see it coming with Carrick. I don't think many people did. But what you have to do, you have to look, right, at each game as it goes and enjoy it, and then sort of assess it as time goes on. So I think a month before the end of the season, I think we'll all have a clear idea of where we're going and where our backing will be. United still have to keep looking, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe has said it, he wants a top manager. He wants someone with experience and everything. But events might overtake decisions. It's happened before. So at the end of the day, right, just back Carrick for what it is. And for what it is, it's entertaining, attacking football. Let's have it, let's go for it, and let's try and dismiss the week after week of fans going to watch United, not knowing what's coming, and then coming away depressed. We've not got that now. We're on a bit of a high. Well, I say a bit of a high. We're right up there. And may it continue. And you have to assess it a month before. And decisions have to be made. And that's when the decision will be made. Not at the end of the season. We will want to know if INEOS are bringing in a manager a month before, or if Carrick is staying.
Ralphie says in the chat, will Carrick attract the big players that we actually need in the summer?
Of course he will. Carrick will attract the big players. It's not just down to Carrick. It's down to Manchester United. Listen, when we're doing poorly, it attracts the big players. I don't think Carrick is the big issue about it. People want to come to United, but what they will see also, from a footballing point of view, is that Carrick has turned it round. He's getting players playing football. They're playing for him. Okay, they are playing for him. You can see that, and it's entertaining football. It's attacking football. It's what Manchester United is all about. I think under Carrick at the moment, right, everything's up there. The stock of Manchester United has risen, and you can tell that by the media, how they have turned away from just going at United and slagging United and looking for all these bad stories.
Yeah, I mean, two of the things that a player moves to a football club for is the wages and what position they're going to play and how much game time they can be guaranteed for. And you just mentioned United over the years playing poorly. Players have come to us. Let's face it, a lot of the time it's been because of them wages and the high wages they're being given compared to anywhere else. But you mentioned about will Carrick attract the top players? We've already got top players in this team, and other players around the world, when they're seeing the top players that are currently here, like your Cunhas, your Mbumo, your Bruno Fernandes, they will come. Well, and if they're seeing players play with a freedom and a confidence, why wouldn't you want to come here? And especially if we get that Champions League place.
Well, listen, if you look at Sesko, for instance, the potential going forward with what we're seeing, how he puts the ball in the net without even looking, right? And he has that instinct, he has that movement. He's improving. How good is the potential going forward for Sesko? I've got my fingers crossed, but I believe he's going to be one of the top strikers over the next few years, because I can see the movement, and he's under instructions, the coaches and everything, what have been brought in for him. They're helping him along. So for me, I think any player around the world, and I've always thought this, will want to come to Manchester United. Kieran mentions like wages and all that. Yeah, that's part and parcel of modern football nowadays, and quite rightly, you want to join a club, you want to leave a club, join a club, and you want to sort your future out. But for me, these players at the moment, they're not coming here on massive wages. I think it's all down to bonus packages and everything, and quite rightly so. Listen, this club, from a financial point of view, is being done right, but there has to be where Ratcliffe lets go of the reins, and this is the decision. It's a world-class players you need to cement in this club now. We've got plenty of good players, like Kieran says, and I've always said this is a good squad.
Just needs a good manager to get the best out of him, and a system, a playing style that they're comfortable and confident with. Whereas under Ruben Amorim, I think he was the only one who was comfortable and confident with it, and not the players. But I just seen a comment in the chat. Actually, first of all, Fred Cranham has gifted 5 memberships. Absolute legend. 5 people have been gifted their memberships. A big thank you to Fred Frogman. He says, the manager's job is no longer all about one man. It's about the team behind him too. We was discussing this briefly actually this morning, that the manager's job at Manchester United, now the actual title of it, now being a head coach, I just get that feeling it's took that sparkle, that stardust off the actual manager now at Manchester United, because there is people behind the scenes who are doing things what we was used to as a Manchester United manager, like looking after certain departments instead of the manager having the overall say?
Well, I don't think it's just Manchester United manager.
Yeah.
I think it's throughout the top football clubs now. Listen, you bring someone in, run the football team and all that. That's the way it is. There's no Michael Carrick, if he gets the manager's job, walking to Old Trafford on a Tuesday and Wednesday afternoon. No, Michael Carrick's at the training ground. That's where the business is being done. There's no one walking round now, any manager, right, trying to run the football club. He's got a specific job to do. Yeah, and the terminology, right, is actually driving me a bit nuts. Manager, coach, you know, being pulled up because of my vocabulary, how I'm using it, right, is an absolute nonsense. Manager, coach, we all know what it means. Sort the team out, get the team playing football. That's it. And that's how it's being run now. Billionaires have brought people in the background to run it differently. And the reason why they run it differently, because there's a finance sheet, okay? There's a finance sheet and they're having no manager or coach, right, interfering in how the club's being run. It's not being run by one man. The day of types of Sir Alex Ferguson, right, are over. Listen, Pep Guardiola doesn't do it at City. He's there. He don't run the football club. The people in the background run the football club. He's got his job to do, and he does it well.
Yeah, anything more to add?
No, I'm just... I just think...
There's a few days left until we next play a game, to be honest.
No, listen, there'll be more stories. We've got loads of things to talk about. But I just look at Ratcliffe and that, right? When he first came in, I wasn't a lover of Ratcliffe coming in, and I've not changed my opinion, right? Because he neglected what we all wanted. And I do think he's got other motives in that. But at the end of the day, he's put his money in. He's made his choices, and they are tough choices. He says they're paying off. I don't agree with that. I think some things are fine. Some things are not quite right. But decisions have to be made, right? And the problem is, can he make them? And Ratcliffe believes he's making the right decisions. But he's a billionaire, and he's not going to say anything different, is he?
I think Dan Fenton said in the chat that him and Amy are looking to move to Manchester area, mate. Well, it's nice and sunny here in Manchester, mate. You get plenty of vitamin D. Only joking, pal. But hopefully, if you do move, hopefully it all goes well for you and the family. But I'd just like to thank you all for joining us today, getting involved in the chat. It's been popping off in there with football and opinion, which we want to see and we love to see. So continue it in the comments section. Smash that like button as well to help support the channel. And we'll be back tomorrow with another live. So get that notification on and you enjoy the rest of your day. Much love to every single one of you out there. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.